at San Diego State University and author of Generations, Dr. Gene Twangy. Welcome back. He is a CNN political commentator and host of the podcast Uncommon Ground with Van Jones. You all know Van Jones from CNN. And she's a political commentator and author who now writes her own column, Unsafe, on Substack. And Coulter is back with us. Okay. So here are the questions. What are your thoughts? Oh, this is for you, Van, probably because you were the Green Czar. Remember when you were the Green Czar?
I do remember.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the tactics of environmental activists who throw soup at the Mona Lisa and disrupt traffic? They also glue themselves to things. And is there a better approach to advocacy? No, there isn't. That is the one that works, and it's solving the problem in record time.
No, it's sad because all that crap overshadows the people who are doing the real work. We got a bipartisan bill done under Biden. Young people worked their butts off for that, and they did it the right way. They knocked on doors. They did it the right way. They get overshadowed by nonsense. And I think we need to really lift up, you've got this generation that really does care. They're trying to be constructive. You do have red states that have clean energy, jobs that are growing alongside the jobs that I like a little bit less. It all gets overshadowed. Some idiot blocks traffic, and that's all anybody talks about.
Why soup?
I don't know. It's vegan soup. No, it's vegan soup.
Okay, what are the panel's thoughts on Alexei Navalny's death and President Biden's statement that Putin is responsible? Predictable and obvious would be my two answers to that.
I think it's horrible that I had a lot of hope. CNN did the Navalny documentary, and so a lot of people I work with really got a chance to know the guy, and they say he's a real deal. Kind of like a Mandela for Russia, kind of waiting in their wings, and you just kind of hope that the guy lived long enough to maybe bring that country back around. And, I actually shed real tears this morning.
What do you think of Tucker? I mean, you used to be friends with him, right? I mean, going over there and
giving a lap dance to Putin?
Basically, just, I mean, parading himself for all these years as so pro-American and then going around and basically saying, this is the really good country, Russia and this guy, and not bringing up any of his crimes. What is his motivation? Can you get into his head a little for me?
Well, no, no, I'm not a huge fan. I don't know, I think a lot of what people do on both sides is motivated by seeking money and fame.
But what, this is the way to do it? This is how, I mean, couldn't he still be on Fox?
Look, I mean, he went over there and said, Moscow is this amazing city because the trains run on time.
Right.
I'm like, isn't that what they said about Hitler?
And Mussolini, yeah.
Mussolini, like a fascist. Like,
right.
Yeah, okay, so the trains run on time, but people are being literally, killed in prison because they have an opinion. That's not a great country.
I think you can say that people are motivated by money and fame if they were on Fox News. The Fox News that then had to pay $700 million in defamation. I would say you can read it on my Substack first, or wait for Fox to pay a $700 million defamation judgment.
All right. Gene, what explains the gender divide in politics? Why are young women skewing, oh yes, I've read this, more liberal, like by 30 points? Then young men are getting more conservative and young women are getting more liberal. What is your generational view on that?
Yeah, so I mean, that's from a big national survey of 18-year-olds, and young men have become considerably more conservative over time. Young women, a little bit more liberal, so there's just a growing gender gap when it comes to that. The why question is always a hard one to answer in any of this type of research. It could certainly maybe have something to do with abortion rights. It may also be on the right, the existence of Andrew Tate and some of those commentators who try to make masculinity into this almost game that young men may be responding to, even though that's maybe not the way they should be going.
Well, I think it gets back to your thing about technology. Technology changed so that what used to be brawny stuff that men did that made them feel like men. That's not what matters in a information society. We're an information society now. The jobs that women do and are better at, they're better at communication, they're better at cooperation. That's why they're doing better in the workplace. That's why they're doing better in college, right? So the men feel lost. And then they turn to idiots like Andrew Tate.
Right, and their military service isn't compulsory
Right.
anymore. So instead, it's video games.
I also think that there's something happening on the progressive side that it feels like almost all masculinity is considered toxic.
Right.
And so I think the young men may not feel welcome. Like if you're
It's true.
In other words, I don't think it's so much of a pull of an Andrew Tate, though that's playing a role. I think it just may be a push. Like if you show up and you want to be just like a regular, guy's guy, you just may not be eating enough kale and doing enough yoga to fit in on the left.
It's true.
So this is Van Jones. The man is a freaking chameleon. All right? First of all, he's not going to be liked at all by the extreme hard left on his answer that he just gave in terms of the Just Stop Oil protests and whatever. People throwing soup and paint on Van Gogh paintings and destroying, paintings and art to basically say that the world is going to end because we're still using oil. And so Van Jones comes out and decides, you know what? Hey, I'm going to basically say that's not the way to do it because it takes away from what we progressives are trying to do. And we can't have stupid people acting that way. So in a way, I'm glad that Van Jones has come out with that. Hey, welcome to our side, brother. Welcome to our side. Exactly. So that basically what's going to happen now is that he's going to have to fend off from his extreme left. Okay, everything is going to be coming his way in terms of the verbal barrage that's there. And then he comes out and basically says that, you know what, maybe because men are not acting like men is because they're being attacked everywhere. They're being attacked in academia. They're being attacked by science. They're being attacked by biologists. They're being attacked by feminists. They're being attacked by leftists, by liberals, by everybody they're being attacked from. In fact, they're being attacked from the transgender community, from the gay, from every which corner, north, south, east, west, and everything in between. Because if a man decides that he wants to act like a man, they put that toxic masculinity label on him, folks. And for a lot of men, they get kicked out of those spaces and they don't know what to do with their lives. And you have a young generation of men that are basically just muddying through life. That's why you have people like Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson and others that are coming out and saying, no, take charge of your lives. You're a man, be a man. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Nothing is wrong with you. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. And Van Jones comes out basically, he is going to be absolutely gobsmacked by the people on the left. By the feminists are going to come out and say, how dare you, Van Jones? How dare you say that there's no such thing as toxic masculinity? When these feminists, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth wave, I don't know which one we're on right now, have tried to coin this phrase to literally just cut it off from men, if you know what I mean. Totally emasculate them. That's what's going on. And it's just not right. But Van Jones comes on the CNN program with Bill Maher and, you know what? Taking some conservative positions. Amazing. Just amazing.
A man is a little suspect. Yeah, no, and I think this winds up being not good for women either, because I don't think women like that. Well, I mean,
Right.
I mean, the rhetoric may be one thing, but at the end of the day, I know we're all gay and we're all fluid now and we're all trans and but a lot of people are still the old school. There was
the old school from 12 years ago.
Well, there was a default setting, right. And a lot of women, I think, still want a man to be a man, not an abusive man, but just a man.
Yes.
Yes, I remember. Hey,
you're canceled. How dare you?
Yeah.
What is going on today? Bill Maher? Van Jones? I mean, if you were just looking at this, you're going, wow, Bill Maher sticking up for men, sticking up for old-time values. Bill Maher on some issues now, just amazingly turning around on some of these. I mean, if I told you 3, 4, 5 years ago that Bill Maher would be defending, men from the label of being toxic masculinity, you'd have said, yeah, right. If I would have told you that Van Jones would have said that men are now being pummeled by all sorts of groups and are being boxed into a corner and don't know what to do because they're being labeled as toxic masculinity and it's not right, that's not what should happen. Or that, protesting for green energy and green jobs in any fashion that you can do, it's stupid because it takes away from the real situation that's occurring, from the real problem at hand. And all everybody talks about is what the heck's going on. That they're stopped blocking a street. Somebody couldn't get to a hospital. And it takes away the entire narrative. You would have said, Nasir, you're absolutely crazy. They're never going to do that. They're going to be hard left core every single issue. And today, I don't know, maybe it's something in the water that CNN gave them. I'm not really sure.
I remember when my mother was a widow the last 15 years of her life, she was always, unhappy, and she said, I just miss male energy. I need male energy, So,
wow.
Good thing we got plenty of it right here on the panel. Van, does AOC supporting Biden mean the rest of the squad will help progressives line up behind him? Well,
I just really don't know. And I think that this idea that there's a squad is a little dated. The reason I say that is because, when they first got there, these were the new kids on the block.
Right.
They're not the new kids on the block anymore. And AOC is a rising star in our party. She's almost seen by some of the younger people as more of an establishment figure, as hard as that is for people in my age group to imagine. And they're going to go their own ways. They represent different districts. And so I'm glad that AOC is supporting Biden, but I don't think she's going to be able to snap her fingers and get the rest of progressives to do anything they don't want to do.
What do you think, panel, of the report that Trump told his advisors that he wants a 16-week abortion ban, with an exception for rape? For him. We make little jokes.
Tiny jokes.
Gentle chiding and good.
Okay, let's give some props where props are due. Whoever wrote that joke, it was Bill. Got to give some props there, okay? I mean, come on. You got it. If the thing hits, man, okay, it hits. So that was a good one there, all right? He got Trump on that one.
Good kidding. It's all in good fun. But apparently this is his way to, because this to me, I thought, maybe not still true, but I think still true, is going to be the Achilles heel for the Republican Party in the next election. They caught the car. They finally did what they wanted to do for all those 50 years, and they overturned Roe versus Wade, and people don't like it.
At all.
Women don't like it, men don't like it, everybody hates kids. I say it all the time. It's true. Everybody hates kids. Nobody wants kids.
Speak for yourself.
No, people don't want kids. They certainly don't want ones they don't plan for. And so what do you think? Is this a good compromise, 16 weeks? He said, I picked it because it's... this is only a second-hand thing. He told his advisor. But he's apparently picked it because it's even. It's 4 months exactly. Like that should even come into... Why would he... Thank God we all hate him, right?
I think you're clearly right This abortion is really hurting Republicans. I don't think you can blame all Republicans for this. I'm glad it was overturned by the Supreme Court. I think I'm a pro-life zealot. I think it was disgusting to call that a constitutional right, but it has been sent back to the states. That's all we ever wanted. And guess what, fellow pro-lifers? We're getting slaughtered. There have been 7 direct-to-the-people votes. And the tiniest restriction on abortion loses overwhelmingly in Montana, in Kentucky, states
Kansas.
that Trump won, but Kansas, 20 points. And it isn't Republicans per se, I think, pushing this. It is these pro-life zealots who just, they don't care. I'm going to be pure. And did you see my write-up in the Catholic Insights magazine? And, you know, you guys, you're like the corporate Republicans who will not give up on their cheap labor. We have to tell them, we can give you some things, but we can't give you everything, or we're just gonna lose.
Well, what a great way to end this segment, because I got 5 seconds.
And Coulter, on this issue, I think she's hit it squarely right on the head, folks. Yes, we all conservatives wanted Roe v. Wade to be turned around, but I knew one thing, that was going to open up an unbelievable political Pandora's box, whereby the left, the liberals, the feminists, the women who want to continue abortion and killing children, that was going to absolutely rise, folks. That it was going to hurt the Republicans in the elections, because it was going to galvanize this energy, this evil energy within those groups to rise up. And we saw what happened. Single women literally, blockaded that red wave that was to occur in the past midterm elections, all because of the issue of abortion. And so now that it's gone back to the states, let the states decide. And we can't be, look, if it were up to me, I would love, if it was possible, to have something, no abortions at all, unless the life of the mother. I would love that, but you're not going to get it. It's not going to happen. I know people say, but we didn't think Roe v. Wade was going to ever happen. Folks, you got 50 states. You're not going to be able to get it. You don't want to have a federal thing just like with Roe v. Wade say that same thing. No. But politically, if you don't win because you take a losing position, you're not going to be able to govern. You're not going to be able to make policy. And so we can work to see where we're going to come to a compromise on a federal, ban or a federal timeline on abortion. I don't even know why we even need one for that. I say let the states decide what they want to do. The people in that state decide. If there's a state that wants to ban it outright, great. If there's a state that wants to say we'll do it up to whatever time, we can't stop that, folks. You can wishes and wishes. If wishes were true. But they aren't. You can't wish something into existence. You've got to allow the people to decide and persuade people to change their mind one way or the other. Anyways, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasir. If you've done so already, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and follow. You all know what to do. Take a look at our other video links above and below. My final thought is always, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.